Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Queen Sugar. So, y'all, I was gonna wear my tortoiseshell glasses, but y'all, this randomly broke off my nose thing. It just randomly broke off. I wasn't even touching it. I came over here like almost a month ago to just do my recap review for some, and I picked up the glasses and I was just like, where'd it go? And it was just sitting broken off. I was like, man, so I'm gonna have to buy one and replace it. I've had glasses my entire life, so I definitely know how to do that if I don't know how to do nothing else. So I'm not worried about it. But look at this foolishness. Like, and I've tried to live my life without one of these before. Oh, that got scratched up. Now that was when I was a child, so I've learned my lesson, and I'm definitely not gonna do that for the sake of video. So yeah, this is what the look was gonna give, but I can't give it no more. I can't do it. And this is my only pair that I wanted to wear that has the brown in it that I want. I don't want to wear my old glasses anymore. I don't wear these anymore unless I'm doing like a random cleaning or something around the house or something like that. But I really don't even wear those anymore. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this recap review because this was a good episode, at least to me. Okay, y'all. So the episode started out with Ralph Angel outside on the tree swing, and he was just looking out at the sugarcane fields because y'all know he's going to have to vacate the premises. I think they said that he has 45 days. Think that that's what Sam Landry was saying. So anyway, Darla came outside and he asked her how she slept, and she said she slept good, and asked him how did he sleep. Y'all know good and well that man probably had a wink of sleep. So anyway, she's trying to explain to him that, he has to focus on their future, whether or not they are actually going to be able to be on that land or not, because they have a child coming. And you got to think about Blue, and you got to make the best of the situation. Like, it is what it is. There's nothing you can change about it at this point in time. So y'all know I really do feel like something is going to come out of nowhere and happen in favor of them keeping the land, because it's like, at this point, why would the show continue if they don't have this? So yeah, but anyway, moving right along, then we see Nova at home, and she's like trying to decompress and hear the ancestors speak to her. And then her attention is diverted over into a corner where she missed a piece of glass that she was in the middle of cleaning up, because she'd already cleaned everything up. Piece of glass that they had busted out of a window or something. She saw it in a corner, and all you can hear is her basically reliving the raid that happened. And you see her basically experiencing PTSD. It was a very sad moment, and you could tell she was very shaken up. It was just too much. So it just is what it is. And she's still not doing well. That is something that is going to take a while for her to work through. And I hope that she does seek therapy and not just, consult the ancestors and just put it in books, papers, and articles and all of that stuff. Like I said, therapy really works. So hopefully she will consider that as well. So anyway, Charlie ended up inviting everybody to this arbitration situation. And this is when the black farmers found out that they won, but they did not get the money that they were actually owed. So everybody gonna have to figure out, they're gonna have to sign paperwork that is going to give each person a total of like $40,000. They get $20,000 from one place and $20,000 from somebody else. Now, after all this time they've been down, you might think $40,000 is a lot. It's really not, especially dealing with agriculture. Agriculture, it's very, very lucrative. I don't care. Nobody say it is. Land is very important. And if you are somebody like them, people need you. Like in the community, all of that. All these people be sitting up here patronizing local farmers when they can, especially in nowadays. It's very, very important. So yeah, $40,000 ain't nothing. It's really not. And Charlie is still trying to help them to understand the bigger picture, even though she can't really say much right now. But she's like, look, I just want to thank my brother because he pretty much was at the head of that forefront. He was at the head of that fight. He was at the forefront of that fight. That's what I was trying to say. Y'all excuse me. So yeah. So he was trying to go ahead and go get in the line so he could sign up and go get this money. Because that's the only way they're going to be able to get it. And so she was like, can I talk to you for a few minutes? So she asked him how was he doing and all this other stuff. And they were trying to have a moment. And you know he's in his feelings because of everything that went down. And old boy's in the wind. Theo or whatever his name is. This man to turn the phone off and everything. He is in the wind. And it's like, you trifling. You get right out of prison and pull this. And you say he had your back when you was in prison. And this is what you do. The karma is going to be real with him. I feel like Ava DuVernay or somebody on the team, on the writing team, is going to have a scene written in for my satisfaction that shows that this man got hemmed up somewhere else. I'm trying not to say this man got killed because I'm just like, you tried it. But anyway, hopefully he get hemmed up somewhere else because his ways are still snake-like and that's going to be his karma. He's going to still be alive, but he's going to pull some more time and hopefully he learns his lesson if he has any time left over after that to live. But I digress. That's just me. I'm sorry. I hate when people do that. Don't do that. Don't try me. And I done been there for you. So anyway, child, I was just like, what we not finna do is this. So anyway, Micah is at the schoolhouse and he's talking to his friend and he's trying to figure out where he is going to have a photo exhibit. And so he said something about having that at a frat house. And Micah was like, really? Like, you know good and well. Like, I even looked like, what? You know good and well, sir. So, after it was all said and done, he figured that it was going to be at the real spot. He asked Hollywood, and that's where it's going to be. But before their conversation was over with, he let him know that he appreciated him for being a real friend, and that he's been very supportive, especially in telling him and showing him how to meditate. Like, people, I'm trying to tell y'all, meditation is real. Meditation is everything. I'm telling y'all, it'd be getting me through. I've been having to tell a couple of my friends as of late, meditation been working because one of my friend who just had a baby not too long ago, she's trying to get out of a funk. The baby been up and all this other stuff. I've been trying to tell her that she need to meditate because she's trying to get herself back in a certain state of mind and she ain't nowhere near that. I'm trying to get her to understand meditation works. It really does. I'm telling y'all, the way I've been feeling lately, most people wouldn't get out of bed. I'm trying to tell y'all what be going on in my family. I'm telling y'all, it's a wonder that I be getting up out of the bed to go to work. I'm telling y'all. So anyway, so now we see Vi and Hollywood at the house and they're eating breakfast or something together. And so Hollywood looking at this heifer like, are you okay? And so she was like, I'm fine, go get ready. And she trying to flirt a little bit or whatever. And she trying to make it seem like she all right. And he was like, well, I'm going to keep an eye on you. And so she was like, I'm going to keep an eye on you too, especially right now. Watching him walk away. I was like, I'm here for it. But, ma'am, you ain't looking right and I ain't here for it. I don't know if y'all know how we talk down south. When we tell somebody they ain't looking right, you look sick. Something look like it's wrong with you. She wasn't looking right. And I was just like, Before he even said something, I was like, you ain't looking right. And that's not even me having at the forefront of my mind that somebody is supposed to die. And I already told y'all, they better not do this. But I feel like this is what they're going to do. And if it's not her, then it's going to be Prosper. And I'm just like, please don't do it. Please do not do any of this. Like, I'm going to need for y'all to have a non-essential person to get hurt or pass away. If y'all have to have somebody pass away, don't do it. But I feel like they're going to do it though. But I don't know. But anyway, she really over here trying to convince Hollywood that she all right. And I'm just like, ma'am, you have been with him for how long? You know he know when you ain't right, but go off though. So anyway, Nova is packing a bag. And while she's in the middle of packing her bag, her neighbor stopped by and he done bought her a pot of gumbo. Y'all, when I saw that pot, I said, what's in there? And then she asked him what was in there, and he said gumbo. I said, wait, don't do it. Y'all ain't had gumbo in so long. Gumbo is so good. Gumbo is so hearty. Like, I feel like gumbo would like really heal somebody's soul. Like, if you had a good pot of gumbo, if you've ever had any good gumbo in your life, you understand. I'm telling you, if you felt sick on the inside, I feel like that would make you well. Like, I've had some amazing gumbo before, y'all. Oh my gosh, I miss gumbo. I'm sorry, y'all. I love a good hearty meal. Like, I love good stuff to eat. Like, if I'm gonna eat bad, I want it to be good. And I'm saying eat bad because I'm trying to do the alkaline thing, y'all. It's just, Conecuh sausage is just delicious. And they've made it available for you to be able to ship it to your home no matter where you live in the United States. And I have been so tempted. My mouth is watering. Have you ever had Conecuh sausage before? Like, people don't be understanding. That has to be the best sausage in all of America. There's literally no comparison. There is nobody's sausage that can compare or hold a candle to it. Conecuh, made in Conecuh, Alabama. That is the best sausage. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Alabama. If you ain't never had it before, I'm trying to tell you. If you still eat meat, they have like a turkey option and all of that now, which I haven't had before. But I'm sorry. But gumbo is delicious and I really miss it. And yeah. I'm gonna need for somebody to make me a little pot of gumbo. That's what I need in my life. I'm scared to make that myself. I would rather somebody who know what they're doing and has done it for most of their life to make it for me. Thank you in advance. So anyway, I was here for that moment. I was like, wait, not the gumbo. You done went off. So she done packed an overnight bag and he actually offered to tag along and she was like, so you could just drop everything you're doing like that and tag along? And he was like, I mean, if I need to, I can. So I was like, okay then. You set it off then, sir. So anyway, all the people are at the real spot that are going to come by and look at the exhibit. And in the moment before all of that is revealed, they're having a moment to discuss how Black people are tried no matter what, and how a lot of Black people are still oppressed and don't even know it. Like, it was a nice, good, real moment. And I was like, come on now. So anyway, Charlie got a call from Davis and he was like, what you got going on for today? And so she was like, nothing much, I'm finishing up some work and whatever. So he was like, okay, good, because I got some plans for you. I got some tickets for you to have some fun. So he got a car outside waiting on her, and she don't even know where she going. He done told her to pack an overnight bag, and so she want to know where he trying to have her go, and he done hung up in her face and everything. I'm like, child, y'all know I don't like Davis. I don't like him. I have never liked him in anything that I've ever seen. I ain't never liked that actor, nothing that I ever seen him in. I know I'm wrong. I know he an actor. Y'all, the first time I saw him was in a Tyler Perry play when he played that man. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it. There was a play that he played in, a Madea play, a Tyler Perry play, where he was with this woman and he was a basketball player and he was out here fighting and bopping and had AIDS, HIV or something, and was passing it on and possibly gonna pass it on to the wife. Like, he was doing the most. He was doing the most. I ain't liked him ever since then. I don't know what it is. Like, I think back then I didn't like him as an actor. I didn't think he acted that way. I didn't think he was that great of an actor. That might have been what it was. If you saw it and you know what I mean, I'm not trying to I'm just saying, like, back then I was just like, did y'all just get him because he was light-skinned and tall? Is that what this was? Sometimes I really be looking at people like, is that what it was? Because Christian Keys, in my opinion, was the same way back in the day. Look, I live for The Rock. The Rock was not a great actor when he first came out either. People evolve. All of these people who I've mentioned have evolved. So I'm not reading them. I'm just speaking from a standpoint of me being a viewer, and I've seen them and I'm like, okay, I see the growth. I'm here for it. But I did not like that man who plays Davis. I don't like him. I don't be liking him and no, like nothing that I've seen him, and he get on my nerves. I don't know what it is. I think I'm saying the characters, y'all. I digress. So anyway, we see a moment where Nova and the neighbor stop and get gas, and they are having an intellectual conversation about blackness and how people try us, and we always oppress. Like, they always have these nice intellectual Black history moments. So they've stopped and gotten gas. Y'all, I promise y'all, during that scene, I was like, man, okay, first of all, I see the type of gas station it is. So it's definitely giving what it's supposed to give for it to be in a somewhat rural country type area. But I was like, please don't let this be one of these gas stations where the owner gonna come out and it's a racist white owner, and while they in the middle of having a conversation, they gonna come out and say something slick. But that didn't happen, so I was glad. Y'all don't understand. I be having these moments. Like I personally, I try my best not to even stop by nowhere like that. Like, they have places around here that are like that. If I go far enough out to certain areas where a lot of my friends live, child, I need to gas up before I leave because I don't have time for it. I know what can happen because the racism and the triflingness, and I said what I said, triflingness. Yes, I did say triflingness is everywhere. The trifling people, it's just too much for me. So anyway, Hollywood and Ralph Angel finally had a conversation. Hollywood came to Ralph Angel and was like, I know I was a little hard on you. And so he was like, nah, you was right. And so Hollywood was just like, are we all right? Are we good? He was like, yeah, I love you. So they both said, I love you to one another. And then the photography exhibit was finally ready for everybody to view. So everybody go in the room. That one Black farmer who always stays setting it off. He saw that picture of Micah and his friend up there. He was like, is this the type of change you were talking about? Because earlier they were talking about they need to accept change and all this other stuff. They need to see the change and we need to be the change. And so Micah got very offended and was like, what are you talking about exactly? And he was like, man, this ain't what I signed up for. Like, he was basically reading and trying to make it seem like Micah and this dude are together and he's trying to show gay Black love or something like that. Y'all, Micah was tied in his spirit. And the friend was there. And I think he's just so used to it that he just lets it, roll off his back. And Micah was not here for it. And that man was giving very much Boosie. He was giving very much Boosie, except the older generation. And y'all know how the older generation was about homophobia and all that stuff. So we ain't even gonna go there. But anyway, I was like, child. And like, even later on when they showed it again, the friend tried to explain to him that he had a trip at one point in time. He went to Rwanda, and that the men would show brotherly love, platonic friendship, really, really close knit like type situations with their friends by actually holding hands. And he was like, well, you need to remember, you're not in Rwanda anymore. I was like, child, stop. But like I said before, like I've been saying this entire season, I'm still waiting to see if they are going to show this man's sexuality on this show, because this guy is a part of the LGBT community in real life. I want to see if they're going to show it. So anyway, child. So Nova and the neighbor, they went to this place. And so the guy was having reservations, and Nova was like, we can leave if you want to leave. Because he said he's passed by it several times, but he's never stopped. So he was like, well, no, it's okay. We could stay. And so he ended up saying that he think that there is an app that he can download because it's supposed to be like a self-guided tour. And then once they actually started doing it, you could tell that it was like an old plantation, I guess you could say. One of the slave houses, one of those homes where the slave master lived in. And child, I was like, come on now. But yeah. So they ended up going to like this monument that is, and see, y'all, I wish I knew the name of it. because I think when I went to Louisiana, I don't think that particular thing was there when we went and toured all sorts of like places that would be very, very historical like that. I don't think we saw that when we went, because I've been twice before Hurricane Katrina. I don't think that was there in the moment. And if it was, I don't remember going there. But anyway, they went to this wall, if you will. They had a lot of names of people. And he was reading the names, and he just became like overcome with rage. And he was just like, it's a wonder that Black people just don't pick up basically every piece of weaponry. And it's like he wouldn't complete the sentence, but he was basically saying, it's a wonder that we don't pick up every piece of weaponry when we see white people and just set it off. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, I've had those moments before too, especially when I'm seeing trifling racist moments unfold right in front of my eyes. I'm just glad I haven't seen that many in real life. And even as I've gotten older, I haven't seen as many in real life. I'm just thankful because people were trying it when I was younger. So we ain't even gonna go there. And this was back when I was at home in Alabama. And it's crazy because you would think that because this is now a red state, the election just happened and they are overcome with the Republican foolishness that's been going on. My thing is, vote how you want to vote, but the way that they have been talking about the political stance of it all, like, oh, it's been overrun with the Democrats for so long. And like the way they said it today, especially when they finally found out for certain that this man won, I was just like, child, y'all doing too much. I can't do it. I can't. So anyway, moving right along, Hollywood finally got home. And y'all, I don't even know how I skipped this part. So they showed Vi at home, and I guess she was gonna take her a nap. So she is like putting on like a little lotion or some cocoa butter or something, and you see little spots on her. And like, look at me, y'all. I done bruised I'm at work, done bruised my arm. I bruise so easily, y'all. I don't even honestly know where that came from. No, nobody is with me, and no, nobody is putting their hands on me. But I done bruised my dang arm. Something terrible, y'all. I think that happened yesterday. But yeah, bruised myself something terrible. But she had like little marks. And I was like, child, she having a flare-up, Lord. Please don't do this. So she, to touch the little spots on her arm. Then she get up. She get up and faint, y'all. I said, oh gosh, this is very, very remnant of when I blacked out at work. To make a long story short, for those of y'all who don't know this, I had a moment when I was at the first job that I worked when I came to Virginia, and the air conditioning went out. Now, this is coupled with the fact that I didn't know that I was having bouts of vertigo in that moment, because it runs very heavily in my family. My daddy has it. I have a cousin, one of my close cousins. She has it. And like I have several relatives that they deal with it all the time. I had never had this issue before. Y'all, I just randomly walked off and people asked me, was I okay? I was like, I'm not even realizing, I'm not saying out loud, yeah, I'm fine. Child, I got halfway up the floor, stopped, and like leaned down. Apparently, I did a whole 180 and fell, like collapsed into the floor and blacked out, y'all. I woke up. I'm laughing about it now because it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. It's still unbelievable to me that this happened. I'd have scared the devil. I'd have scared everybody half to death because I'd have blacked out at work. And the person who caught me, first of all, I got caught and I was like, what? The person who caught me, y'all, keep in mind I'm fat. Like, I don't know if this was one of the times that I had lost weight, because when I got there, I had lost like a total of 60 something or 70 something pounds. I'm still fat, child. The person who caught me, I don't think she was 100 pounds soaking wet. And she was an older woman who should have been retired. She was like 62, 63, or 64. And she caught me. And the day prior, they called the first responders for her because she had turned ghost white and had some kind of dizzy spell her own self. So I'm like, child, how she catch me? They had to pry her off of me because I was cool with the woman. They had to pry this woman up off of me, and she was just rocking me like, oh, is she okay? Is she okay? And I'm just coming to, feet in front of me, legs in front of me, looking like, why am I on the floor? Everybody looking at me like everybody looking at me crazy, and I'm looking at them like, why is everybody all around me? My friend that went to the water fountain, she tried to get me water. She's shaking, tried to get me water. She said she was going to go get some water. She was hot. The person who was there for first response just about slapped the water out of my friend's hand. I was like, oh God, I didn't know none of this. Everybody is telling me what didn't happen because I'm coming to and barely there. It was too much. So yeah, I had a bout of vertigo and it was trying me. So if you have bouts of vertigo, please get you some organic ginger root in your life. Get that. Ingest the least amount that you're supposed to have on the regular. I started steeping it and making tea. And you know, just in case you ain't got it on hand right now and you don't think you can deal with that, at least get you some ginger ale, because that be making a difference. But it had me going all the way through. I'm sorry, I had to take, when that part happened, I said, oh no, it took me all the way back to that happening. Child, that was very, very, I scared everybody so bad. Like for the next 2 months, everybody was like, are you all right? Like they were cutting me off. Like, Dad, you all right? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Do you need to go get some water right now? I'll take a spot. Like, I scared everybody to death. So anyway, so yeah, Hollywood came home from the function and he looking for Vi. He was like, Vi, where you at? He done went in the bedroom. This heifer over on the bed, like on the side of the floor, because she done blacked out. Like she done passed out. She ain't got up off the floor yet. I don't know how long she on the floor. I'm like, please tell me this heifer didn't die, Lord. Please tell me. So he like, Vi, oh my God. And so she was like, I'm all right. I'm all right. Can't even hardly open her eyes. Ma'am, you are not all right. And so he was like, I'm about to take you to the hospital. She talking about, no, you're not. I'm fine. He was like, you don't understand what you look like right now. Yo, you done broke out. And she was like, this is not the first time I've had a flare up. You know, you've seen me worse off. He was like, if it get any worse before the end of the night, I'm taking you to the hospital. You understand? It was what it was. She said, all right. I was like, all right, then. That's what I thought. So anyway, Nova and old boy are still doing a tour of this place. And then they went into, I guess, a chapel. And so there were children in there that were doing the tour as well with their parents. And they had these statues of little black children in specific spots. And so one of the little girls kept going up to different children and like whispering and saying stuff to it. And Nova sat like a couple of seats back from her and just smiled at her. And then the little girl was talking to her. Was like, you are so pretty. And Nova told her that she was pretty too. And the little girl said, I know. I was like, I know that's right. So she just had a moment to soak it all in. And then she was able to have clarity and she heard the ancestors speak to her again. So she's feeling like she usually feels because that's how she works. That's her process. Because ever since that situation happened where the people bust in and raided her home, she has not been able to hear the ancestors speak to her. So yeah, Vi is still feeling some type of way. And Hollywood told her that she has a visitor and she was like, I don't feel good. I ain't up to it. It was Ralph Angel and it was what it was. So he was like, I know we just started speaking the other day, but you know, I just want you to feel better. I heard that you weren't feeling good and, you know, I just wanted to come and check on you. So then she actually sat up there and was a woman. She was a woman about her business and said, you know, I was, you know, just hurt by what happened. And I ended up looking up the school that Blue go to, and it's one of the best schools in the nation. And I'm glad you sent him there. And he was like, you need to get better. I want you to be here. And she was like, I'm going to be here, God willing. I told your daddy, I promised your daddy that I was going to take care of y'all, and I intend to keep that promise. So he started crying. I said, Lord. Because, like, don't nobody have time. He was like, I can't afford to lose you. He get to cry. I said, Lord, don't do it. So anyway, Nova and her neighbor are about to leave and he gets a phone call from his boss. He already knew what they call it for. So she was like, is everything okay? And he was like, yeah, I was supposed to turn in something by the end of the day, but it's okay. And he needs a moment to process because he was a part of the situation too, a little bit. Like, it was just a lot. Like, nobody even did anything wrong, and you done tore this woman's house up. You done slammed him down to the ground too. And so, of course he needs a moment to process too. So it just is what it is. So he was like, look, it is what it is. He said that him missing work today and missing a couple of deadlines was worth him spending time with her and going on this trip with her because he wanted to get to know her. So she felt like this was a moment where they were connected and it's time to kiss. And he was just like, what we're not going to do is that because, you just had a traumatic experience. And basically he wants it to be organic and not possibly be fueled by the emotions that are still coming off of the back end of what happened the week or so prior, which is understandable, but I feel like it's still going to happen. So it is what it is. So, she respected that and, went on by her business. So Charlie is at the last leg of the journey and she trying to figure out why Davis got her at their old apartment from when they was in college together. And so she on the phone with him. And I'm like, girl, you should have knew that he was up to no good when he just had you regularly on the phone and not FaceTiming you again. He in the apartment and they go inside and she is just like awestruck because he has basically made it recreated into how it looked as closely as he could to how it was when they were in college. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Only thing about it is she does not miss those days when they could not afford furniture and all this other stuff. He done did all of this and set up the little date. And basically the way that they were eating and living back then is the way he had it set up. He even had the mood set with the music. Tell me why he had... Everybody want to call it this, but that's not the name of the song. Every man was a woman. Everybody love trying to play Candy. I don't care what nobody say. Candy can sing. People really be trying her. Candy can sing. She be having moments where I feel like she is like, she has a lot of pressure on her or something, and then she be sounding somewhat crazy, but she can sing. Like, don't do that. Candy can sing. And she has had so many moments where the Scott sister and her would basically be the lead singers of these songs. So I'm like, why are y'all trying to play her? Some of their biggest hits were when they were the ones leading the songs. So we're not going to do that. Like, stop the Candy slander. So anyway, as far as singing is concerned, I understand some of the other stuff y'all want to read her about. Do that, I guess, if y'all want to go off. But the heifer can sing. Like, stop. So anyway, I was like, please don't do it. This fool done proposed to her. And she basically told him no because she is about to pretty much run for Congress in Louisiana, and he's trying to convince her, like, I don't care about all that. I'm still trying to move the way you at. If I gotta move there, I'll do that. We can move to LA, whatever need to happen, I will do it. And so she was like, no, like, this is the problem. This is what happened the last time. And she is about to start making speeches all over the place. She's going to be traveling for pretty much like a year straight for the campaign. She's going to be on speaking engagements left and right. So it's like the long distance thing is not going to work and you're going to start off on the wrong foot again. No, that's not how it's going to work. So it is what it is. And right now is not the time for that. So yeah, he said after all was said and done, I'm a very patient man. So, I mean, I'm like, we'll see. So Charlie and Michael went by to see Vi, and she ended up telling her about her political news, and she encouraged her and told her that she was very proud of her because we never even had a seat at the table, and like, this is like major. So I'm like, okay, I'm glad. So we end up having a full circle moment when Darla and Ralph Angel are outside on the farm again, and she approached him, and because he was just out there looking at the fields again, just reminiscing and things, and she let him know that she found an apartment, and he is not ready to accept it. And again, she's like, okay, I hear you, but it's not guaranteed that we're going to be here, so you need to start accepting things. and you need to think about the future. And he was like, you know what? I hear you. And I promise you, it's my word. I'm going to make an honest living, even if I got to go back to where I was working before. That's the end of it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. See y'all later. Bye.